All right, check out our new sponsor, Greenwood Stocks. They want you to know how to be able to trade stocks and be your own boss and be free to travel the world by making passive income. We all need that passive income from stock market. What are you waiting for? Call or text 281-760-3170. If you didn't catch that, that's on your screen. Or check them out at social media, Greenwood Stocks, and catch them at Gmail, Greenwood Stock Trading at Gmail, and the YouTube channel is Greenwood Stocks. Appreciate them for giving me the opportunity. Check them out. We out. All right, former Kentucky Wildcat national champion, 96, three-time All-Star, Chicago native, Antoine Walker has some words about James Harden's style of play. Same thing, basically, Kobe said. We're going to read it. Make sure you check out the NBA Talk playlist. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And, today you can't say nothing about nobody. You say something, but I think he need to tighten up his left hand. Oh, you hating. You can't have no constructive criticism. You can't have no comments that ain't, nice. And, if I'm Antoine Walker, I wouldn't say nothing much. Just, let James Harden keep doing what he's doing and keep losing. And everybody go crazy about James Harden every regular season. He do the same stuff. Every playoff run, he choked. And ain't nobody got nothing to say about it. Every time playoff year, they just brush it off. Remember, he lost to a Kawhi-less San Antonio team and got sent home. It doesn't make no sense. He's a consistent choke artist in the playoffs, but this is what Antoine Walker had to say. I'm not a James Harden guy. It's not personal, but you can't win with that style. I don't think you can win with that style. Anytime it takes a guy 6, 7, 8 dribbles to get where he has to go, that's the problem. It works today because it's more of a pick and roll league, so he gets away with a lot of things now, but I would not leverage my future for James Harden. And I agree, and I said that. I said that if you didn't have Kyrie, you have somebody like Klay Thompson or somebody like Joe Dumars who can really lock down and give you something offensively, that would work. But having 2 non-defenders in the backcourt and having to hurt Kevin Durant and old anchor and DeAndre Jordan, that's not going to work. They might win, they might not, but when you need to stop, I like Philly. They can get a stop when they need a stop. They got defenders. They got an anchor in Joel Embiid. And they got a good defensive perimeter guy who can guard all 3 or 4 spots in Ben Simmons. And James Harden fired back. James Harden and Antoine Walker criticized his style of play. Stuff like that, I don't pay attention, especially somebody who has no credibility. And he say, Antoine don't have no credibility. What? He won a title in college. He don't have no credibility. He won a title with the Miami Heat in 2006. So a guy that won titles on both level and probably won a state championship, he won a title on 2 levels you never did. I'm not saying he a great player, but hey, he went number 6. He won a championship. He was a 3-time All-Star. What you mean no credibility? But he did something that you didn't do. That's my thing about it. He did something that you did not do. And these dudes take this shit to heart. Man, you got no credibility, man. But guess what? You ain't won a title. And you don't care about winning a title. He right. A dude who ain't going to give you no effort defensively. They giving up 130, 140 points. When they had Spencer Dinwiddie, I think they barely gave up 100 points to Golden State in the first game of the season. They probably didn't give up 100. But he being truthful. And it didn't work with Steve Nash. In Phoenix, people said, well, Robert Horry, if it wasn't for Robert Horry, they probably would have won it or made it. Okay. And I think that's the year they played the Pistons. I think that was 2005 when they played the Pistons, man. And Robert Horry did that. And what happened was, for you guys who don't remember, who don't know, or who wasn't watching basketball then. All right, what happened was Steve Nash was coming up the court. I think Phoenix might have won that game still. But Steve Nash was dribbling up the court, and they just got in San Antonio ass, if my memory serves me correctly. And Robert Horry did a dirty play. He hip-checked Steve Nash into the scorer's table. He bust his head open, right over his eye. So then what happened was some of the guys left the bench on both teams. But the guy that left the bench on San Antonio team was the prominent players. I remember Amari Stoudemire. So a lot of the guys that left the bench got suspended. But it wasn't Tim Duncan. It wasn't, Manu Ginobili. It wasn't Tony Parker. It was like Amari Stoudemire, maybe a few other guys, right? So basically that what happened. San Antonio probably came and won the next game. The guys came back from suspension for leaving the bench. But at that point, the damage had been done because San Antonio had the momentum. If Steve Nash had a patch over his eye when he was playing, that's how bad his cut was. And, that's how they won. But, but had, that happened, most people thought Phoenix would have made it to the finals. In my opinion, I think they would have made it too. Now, would they have beat Detroit? My Pistons, who knows? We did pretty well versus San Antonio, but they was always able to score a lot of points, and that was their thing, Mike D'Antoni. And I think if Mike D'Antoni won that title, I think the NBA would have changed then. I think more teams would have went more into the pick and roll. But Steve Nash was doing that early, but he just wasn't as an aggressive scorer as James Harden. But he was more efficient. And obviously, when you take 10, 15 shots a game, if that 12 shots a game, you're going to be efficient. But I thought Steve Nash was a better shooter than James Harden. Even when he was with Dallas, Steve Nash was coming off the pick and roll, hit it on the elbow. They believed in the mid-range game. He was a great 3-point shooter. And to be honest, he was a great finisher above taller guys. But when he got into the paint, most teams were expecting him to kick it, and he did. But that style of play has never prospered in the NBA. He right. And then when you got a guy in James Harden who ain't giving a great effort, on a defense, had he played next to like a Ben Simmons, had he played next to a Joe Dumars, a Klay Thompson, that works because you know what? Not too many teams got a backcourt where somebody looking to kill. You look at Utah's Mike Conley and Devon Mitchell. Devon looking to kill. You look at a lot of teams, they don't have two, great, Cleveland got Darius Garland. He trying to get it together. Colin Sexton. They dangerous, but usually it's some balance in the NBA, other than Portland. Somebody really, really good defender. And then somebody can score, but they giving up too many. They backcourt too weak. They is, and you don't have that defensive specialist that's going to lock shit down. And that's what made Golden State so good. Everybody talk about Steph and KD. What made it so great was Draymond and Klay and Kevin Durant was the anchor. But you can tell them motherfuckers, go get on LeBron, try to slow him down, or go get on Dame, and more than likely, maybe not much, but they can slow LeBron down a little bit. But more about Dame, go get on McCollum, go get on D'Angelo Russell, go get on De'Aaron Fox, go get on Lonzo, go get on LaMelo. And for the most part, they can slow them guys down. And they don't have that guy. You can't, back in the day when Kevin Durant was healthy, before the Achilles, Kevin, go stop Dame. Or go Kevin, go stop Klay. Or Kevin, go out there and try to just slow LeBron down a bit. You had that versatility, and that's the problem. That's what made Miami dangerous, especially if they able to get John Wall. You able to go John Wall at point. John Wall is probably the best defender point guard in the game. He go down there and shut shit down. So now you got, if you get John Wall and you got Jimmy Butler, they two of the best defenders. That's what's going to take to beat Brooklyn. Because guess what? Once they get past the second round, it get time to win. Kyrie is going to be important. And Kevin Durant going to be the more important guys. And Joe Harris and Bruce Brown and guys like that. Because we know James Harden, when it's time to win, when it's winning time, he not going to show up. So that's why it's important for them to preserve Kyrie, kind of give Kyrie some days off when KD get back. Because Kyrie and Kevin Durant going to be able to take over and take the pressure off of James Harden. And then maybe James can get it going. But then again, we can slow it down and rewind. When they was in the finals versus the Heat, he didn't show up. When they had an opportunity to go up 2-0 on Golden State one year, in back-to-back games in Golden State, he turned the ball over and Golden State took the game. They could have won, went up 2-0. When James Harden went down, Chris Paul went down, he threw up bricks. When the Spurs chose not to play Kawhi Leonard and play for Game 7, they beat them, and James Harden didn't show up. And then what's the game? Oh, and then he went to the liquor store after that, went to the strip club. He don't care about winning. And everybody do this every year. He MVP. But when it comes to the playoffs, his performances is garbage. And maybe taking them off the ball and let them come off screens like Reggie Miller and Rip did and make them get easy buckets that Kyrie and KD create for them, maybe that might make it simple, but that's not what Steve Nash and D'Antoni do. And we know that. That's not what they do. Those type of guys, those the type of guys that don't make no adjustments. They're going to leave James at the point, and they're going to do that same thing they did throughout the regular season. And they're going to run into a team, maybe LA, maybe the Clippers, maybe the Jazz, maybe Philly, especially if Miami make that trade, maybe Miami. They're going to run into a team that's going to, look, fuck James Harden. Let James Harden shoot the ball. Let's make sure Kyrie and KD don't really do. And James Harden going to fold. We've seen this movie before. When it's time to win, he ain't winning. And Antoine Walker right. And when Kobe said it, James Harden ain't had nothing to say. I guess just Kobe credibility, I know it is higher than Antoine Walker, period. But they telling him the truth. That D'Antoni ain't never won no championship in America. You being on top of the key, look, let's get some Princeton offense ball movement happen at the top of the key. Let's get you moving off the ball and getting you easy buckets. Let's get you cut. And that's what Brooklyn doing. Brooklyn gonna ride or die with James Harden doing that shit in the playoffs. I'm telling you. Kyrie get hurt. He getting his feelings. They run into Philly. If Philly make a trade where they get another guy like Kyle Lowry, they gonna be. I like Philly because they gonna, as long as Joel healthy and they manage him, he good. They got no answer for Joel, but they got an answer to be like, okay, Ben, stick on James Harden, or Ben, stick on Kyrie. I'll put Ben on Kyrie. Don't worry about it. That's the team to beat in the East. I'm telling you, Philadelphia, if they healthy and they keep their shit together, and if they make a trade just to add a little bit more, that's a team that's scary to me, man. And I agree with Antoine Walker. James Harden, he gonna keep doing. They gonna keep doing the same shit in Houston. They did the same stuff in Brooklyn. It's insanity and expecting a different result and not making a change. But hey, let me know what you guys think. I agree with Antoine Walker, Kobe Bryant, a lot of other guys that say it. James Harden getting in his feelings, but let's see if he make the adjustment. Not never. I know he won't. Especially with Steve Nash and Mike D'Antoni on the bench. But don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all my social media links, subscription. You need to reach out. Facebook group link there as well too. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313. PayPal link descriptions too. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you guys think. One time for the One Time Good Philly Sports TV. Check out the NBA Talk playlist. We go.